It's 5 p.m. and our course will become shortly.
Hello.
It's 5 p.m. and we are ready to start our today's program. We have Sri Shoikot Sarkar, Associate Professor, Government General Degree College, Shingor, and under his guidance, you will be able to know much more things regarding introduction to Ophiology. Over to you, Sri Shoikot Sarkar.
Thank you, Rahul. Today's topic will be, today I'll be covering okay, let me first present it. রাহুল আমার স্লাইড কি দেখা যাচ্ছে না?
এখনো যাচ্ছে না।
দেখা যাচ্ছে।
হ্যাঁ স্যার দেখা যাচ্ছে।
দেখা যাচ্ছে। ওকে 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 তাহলে every one of you please switch your microphones off. Okay, we are starting. Let us. কোন একটা মাইক্রোফোন এখনো অন আছে? Okay, introduction to Ophiology. Today we'll be covering the taxonomic. Today we'll start with taxonomic account. It is not possible to cover the entire taxonomy today only. This is basically the diversity. The diversity part, the diversity of all the snake species or snake families that we have. I'll be talking about them. Now, more or less, there is, this number vary. These numbers vary. The number of the species in a family, number of the species in a particular group of any animal, not only snakes. These vary. So it is roughly 3,800 plus species of snakes still living today. I'm talking about the extant ones. That means that are living today, and there are other species who are extinct. I'm not covering them. So all these 3,800 plus species of snakes can be put under either Scolecophidia, two infraorders, either Scolecophidia or Alethinophidia. Now, Scolecophidia is a group. Generally, they are called a common name for this particular group is worm snakes. And how do you identify whether it is a worm snake or some other snake? The worm snakes will be having limited gape size, means they have got fixed gape. They cannot extend their mouth like other advanced snakes can do. Their jaw muscles, they cannot unhinge their jaw muscles like other advanced snakes can do. So they can take in limited sized prey items. Say, for example, the larvae and pupae of ants and other invertebrates. Okay, and ants. There are termites. Okay, so these are fixed size animals. So they will be devouring these animals only. Now let us consider on Alethinophilia. These are the group of the snakes that are having large gape size. That means they can extend their jaws. They can unhinge the jaw bones to take in larger prey items. So this group of animal or this group of snake will be called Alethinophidians. Scolecophidians, roughly there are 446 species, 4-5 इधर उधर हो सकता है. Small snakes inhabiting fossorial niches. So these are small snakes, mainly the worm snakes. Principally, I mean there are some snakes, some worm snakes of larger sizes, some worm snake species of larger sizes. They can be found on the forest floors, but this number is very less. Only one or two species of worm snakes you can find uh, roaming around in the forest floors. Most of them, large majority of them, will be inside some burrows, either termite mound or some ant hill, something like that. Okay, so and because they live where the food is sufficient, where the food item is sufficient. Okay, so they have got this largely fossorial niche. And obviously, they're the basal-most lineage of all the snakes that you can see today. Uh, but they are basal-most lineage. That does not mean they are not. I mean, they are having all the primitive characters. No, they have diverged from the other stock. I mean, some million years back, maybe. Okay, so and they have specialized themselves in living in that particular challenging environment, because within those burrows you have got limitations. Okay, you cannot live as happily as the other snakes that can live. They can go here and there, they can search for food, they can uh, experiment with certain things that this kind of a niche doesn't allow you to do. Now, they have got eyes, though I mean, casually we say they are blind snakes. They have got eyes, but these eyes are underneath their scales, their head scales, and these eyes are principally used to get a taste of the, I mean, not taste, but get an impression whether there is light or not. Light means they have come out of their burrows. So the moment they face light, they again go deep inside the burrow, because that is the environment that they are used to live in. Now, the scolophidians resemble each other in having uniformly smooth scales encircling the body without enlargement of the ventral scales. This I have discussed yesterday also. And, there are some groups like sea snakes, like these worm snakes. They have got equally sized and shaped scales all around their body. There's nothing, no special scale called ventral scale like other snakes have. Okay. Now, there is one, I mean, this group of snake is also an exception in one aspect. Most of the snakes, as you could find in case of lizards, that I told lizards, they slough off their skin in pieces, leaving a very few exceptions. Likewise, in case of snakes, this is the exception. All the snakes will be sloughing off the entire skin as one piece. But these snakes, these worm snakes or blind snakes, they will be sloughing off their skin in pieces, in rings. Okay, so that is one exception. They stand as an exception or a renegade from that point of view. Now, some species of blind snake possess numerous small glands. There is a picture for that. You'll get to know what I'm saying about small glands in their heads. Now, these are basically skin glands. You can see the impressions from outside. There are certain. I mean, not all the species of worm snakes are having such kind of glands, but the distribution of these glands is also being used as taxonomic character. Okay, to identify different species nowadays. Now, when threatened, they often emit a strong. This is very. I'm sure there are certain participants in this. Courts who have special interest on snakes, and they have handled these worm snakes, and they have a. I mean, this is a very common experience with handling worm snakes. that it leaves a very foul smell when manhandled, or when they feel that they are being manhandled. Now, there are five families, Rajiv: Anomalopididie, Leptotyphlopidae, Geropilidae, Xenotyphlopidae, and Typhlopidae. And the species numbers are there. So there are five families. Now, this particular species, Barbados thread snake, of these blind snakes, they are or not only blind snakes, of all the snakes that are living today, most probably, I mean, I cannot say for sure, but most probably these are the smallest ones. This particular species is the smallest of all the snakes that are living today, and this one is the largest of the blind snakes. Not largest of the snakes, but largest specimen, giant blind snake. They are revered to be the largest of the blind snakes. Brahmini blind snake. Now, this is a Vargotyphlops braminus, the name. Though this particular Vargotyphlops name is not yet accepted by the person, but the scientist who has proposed this name, and I have read his paper. It is very convincing. The paper is very convincing that it is a matter of time only that this particular name will be accepted. Till now, it is being called Rhamphottyphlops braminus. Okay, the name obviously will be changing to Vargotyphlops braminus. Vargo means Vargo. It comes from virgin, means there are no males. They say there are no males, not yet found at least. There are no males in this particular species. So this is a female only species. Obviously, they will be parthenogenetic. Plus, they have got another record in their name. Now, what is that record? That is, they are the only triploid species of snake known. They are the only naturally occurring triploid species of snake. So this is, these two are the records in their name. One is they are the only known virgin snakes. The snakes who are parthenogenetic in terms of reproduction, and they have got triploid number of chromosomes. Now, the head gland that I was talking about, it is kind of a gland, and obviously the pattern will change from one species to another species where they are there. Okay, not all the, as I said, not all the species are having this kind of gland, but the species or the groups or the families that are having this kind of a gland, the distributions are different from one species to another. There are papers for that. Now, Alethinophilia. So let us go back again. Colecophilia and Alethinophilia. So these are the modern snakes that we will be discussing today. We are entering the world of the modern snakes. Maybe they are the first groups that we will be discussing on. They are the basal part of the modern snakes, but there are, the most modern of all the snakes are the colubroids that we will be discussing in our next class. So Alethinophidians, that means we are entering the world of modern snakes, or so-called, so to say, advanced snakes. Roughly 3,370 species, one or two here and there, 3,370 species are there. There are two lineages, mainly Amerophidia and Afrophidia. By the name, you can see that, you can feel that the Amerophidians are found in American realm, in North and South America. And all of them are having fossorial adaptation, like the most basal lineages of snakes are having. That means the worm snakes. But the one difference is that they are fossorial. Their habit is fossorial, or their niche is fossorial, but their gap size is, I mean, they can increase their gap size. So they can deal with, or they can handle pretty larger. I'm not as large as the advanced snakes can, most advanced snakes can do, like pythons. I mean, no, pythons are not the most advanced snakes. I mean, the not as large as the pythons and boas can do, but still they can have a larger gap size, at least larger from the uh, most basal lineages. That means the worm snakes. Okay, as I said, that we are just entering the realm of the advanced snakes. Okay, so they are in between these two realms. So they are Amerophidians. And the Acrophidians are, obviously, they are globally distributed. All the other snakes will come under this umbrella. So these Acrophidians can be divided into two lineages. One is Henophidia and another is Xenophidia. Henophidia means the boas and pythons who are having, who are actually bulky snakes and can extend their mouth to a great extent. Okay, and obviously that's why they can handle pretty large sized prey items. Now the Xenophidians or advanced snakes have got two superfamilies. One is Acrocordoidea. This is a single family superfamily. That means under this Acrocordoidea superfamily, we are having Acrocordidae as a family, and we are having Colubroidea superfamily under Xenophidia. Okay, so today we'll be discussing not, I mean, this is not today's topic. We will be discussing up to Henophidia today. Okay, and I mean, we will discuss the Xenophidia from, I mean, in our next class. Now, Amerophidia. There are two families, Annelidae and Pyrophidae. And these star marks means, I mean, these are disputed categories. Categories means in some classifications you will find these in some other categories, or say some other families maybe. But the one that I follow, I mean, the reference is there at the end of the I mean, the last day, at the last day, on the last day, you will be getting the references, all the references that I consulted to make these preparations. So, according to the classificatory scheme that I follow, that these Amerophidians have got Annelidae and Tropidophidae. There are two families, and this is the pipe snake family Annelidae. This is the typical pipe snake, and this is the very small region of northernmost South America. You can find it only there and no other place in the world. Family Tropidophidae, dwarf boas, West Indian. They are even they are found in even smaller areas of the world. So they are threatened, almost threatened, dwarf boas, and they are found in these two spots mainly, West Indian archipelago. Okay, and I mean West Indian region, you may say. There are two disjunct distributions where you can find this thing, and here also you can find Tropidophidae. So this is having a disjunct distribution. We call this kind of a distribution disjunct distribution. So there are small foci where you can find these species. Okay, no explanation is there. Why this kind of a disjunct distribution is there, we cannot say for sure. Now, Afrophidia. Afrophidia means the Henophidia, the boas, pythons, and the Xenophidians. Xenophidians we will not deal today. Now let us enter the world of Henophidia. Now, Henophidia, again, there are two question marks, as you can see, Bulairidae, because it is treated in some other families according to some other classification. Okay, so these are disputed categories. Okay, so let us according to our classification, it is Bulairidae family, and the common name is split jawed snake. There are two species only found. And what is unique about this particular group of snake, that they are unique among snakes by having maxillary bone that is divided. That means maxilla is not a single bone there. They have got two elements in the maxilla. This is the most unique character that you can find in any snake. No other snake on earth is having their maxilla divided. Okay, so this is really unique. And superfamily Europeltoidea. So first family was, under Henophilia, the first family was Bolairidae, then Europeltoidea superfamily. Now, under this Europeltoidea superfamily, we are having three families: Anomochylidae, Cylindrophidae, and Europeltidae. Okay, and this Anomochylidae or dwarf pipe snakes, distribution is there. We don't have much time because we have got so many other things to discuss. So we will not go deep into these. Into the characters of these snakes. Then I will not be in a position to deal with all the families maybe. And there are certain subfamilies, many subfamilies in under some families that also I won't be dealing with. I will be dealing with up to family level. Okay. So this is the picture of the Anomochylidae distribution, Cylindrophidae. The distribution you can see on the right side, and this is the map position. This is a Cylindrophidae map. Other maps I don't have right now. Okay, so this is the only map that I've got. And Europeltidae, yes, I have got Europeltidae. This is Europeltidae, shield-tailed snake. So it is found in the southernmost part of India and whole of Sri Lanka. Okay, Sri Lankan species are a little bit different, but differently colored. Okay, we have got pretty good number of Europeltids in the southernmost part of India. Shield-tailed snakes. Now, superfamily Pythonoidea. So pythons and relatives. Many of us believe that Pythonidae is one big, large-bodied group of snake. Another large-bodied group of snake is, the snake group of snake that is having large body. That is, one is Pythonidae, another is Boidae. But it is not like that. Pythons have got python-like, the relatives. These snakes are more related to pythons than any other snakes. Okay, so that kind of family you are having Xenopeltidae and Loxosemidae, Mexican burrowing python. So this is the only group of python that burrows inside the, not as large as the pythons that we found here in Asia, but these are smaller pythons, but big snakes, not very small snakes. Okay, but they are having a subterranean lifestyle, burrowing pythons. Now, Xenopeltidae, sunbeam snakes, Pythonidae, and the ones that we discuss most. This is the Loxosemidae or Mexican burrowing python. This is monotypic. There is only one species discovered till now, and this is this small stretch of southernmost part of North America that this particular species is found. Okay, so very restricted distribution. Xenopeltidae, very colorful snake. Actually, it is iridescent, and the light reflects in, giving you different colors from different angles. So it is a sunbeam snake and Southeast Asian distribution principally. Yeah, as you can see, this is the Southeast Asian region, and they are not found in India, but Southeast Asia. Now let us come to pythons. The Pythonidae family. Now these pythons, we in India, we have got two pythons, two types of pythons. One is Python molurus, and another is bivittatus, that is Burmese and Indian rock python. Now, how do you differentiate? Why have I put this slide here? Because in many cases, I have noticed that uh, many uh, very knowledgeable persons from zoology. I'm not blaming them because we are not taught in that fashion. I mean, we have got limitations. We have to finish our syllabus. So, in every detail, you cannot teach all things. So, this is Indian rock python, and this is palm python. Now, if you look at the scale, and you do not have any suborbital or infraorbital in case of Indian rock python. Okay, but in case of Burmese python, you have got supraorbital, you have got suborbital. That means the SL6, that means supralabial 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Supralabial 6 in case of Indian rock python will directly touch the eye. But in case of Burmese python, the supralabial scale number 6 will be touching the suborbital and preorbital 3. This is preorbital, this is postorbital. Okay, preorbital 1, 2, 3, postorbital 1, 2, 3, 4, and this is suborbital. This is not 5. Okay, this is pre, post, and this is supra and sub or infra, some people say. Okay, so in case of Burmese rock python, the SL6 will be touching both preorbital 3 and suborbital. Now, this is the rock python that I was trying to get out of a burrow in Corbett. I mean, it is not the Corbett, deep inside Corbett, but it is in the outskirts of Corbett. This was a real giant that I dealt with, and this is just 1/4 of its body that I was trying to pull out. This is just, and the exposed area is just 1/4 of its body. You can well imagine this is my hand. Just imagine the width of the tail region only. Okay, so this was a real giant, and I was in trouble to get it out. I could not. Actually, I could not move it out of its burrow. So it was an experience. Okay, it will take time to discuss. So I'm cutting it short. Now, this particular video, this is a video. This was a python caught by some people of some park. So there was no, there was no specialist who could handle this particular wild python that was freshly caught. So they called me. This is the video. Now, how to handle a snake, I'll explain after you see the video. This was a male python, male subadult. Now, you may feel that I was irritating the python. Believe me, I was not irritating the python. This is a way that you can actually safely. Don't practice it at home, because after watching, say, 1,000 snake handling, maybe I have started. So do not try to mimic. Okay, because at your first experience, you may be bitten. Given half a chance, the snake will bite. Any snake will try to bite you. Most of the snakes, not all snakes. Most of the snakes will try to bite you. So do not try it at home. Now, what I was doing here is, say we are homeotherms, পিন্টু the last দিন বলেছিলেন, we are homeotherms and they are poikilotherms. Now, they are, they may be very powerful. I mean, by muscle strength, they may be very powerful, much powerful than our muscles are actually. But what they lack is the stamina. They lack in their stamina. So, if you, I mean, if this kind of handling, I mean, these are majestic species. Okay, they are not used to getting handled in this manner. So this is a kind of, scientifically, I was doing the manhandling, so-called manhandling, but I was not actually manhandling. It took it as manhandling, and uh, after getting that impression, it was losing its stamina fast, and that was my target, because I want it to be quiet. While I actually grab it by its neck. So that was my intention. So I was just in the process of draining its stamina. Now, I don't know whether you noticed it or not. Every time I was moving here and there around the snake always was trying to keep me on its left side. Now, as bilaterally symmetrical animals, we know, though they do not have their legs or their limbs, but they are derived from bilaterally symmetrical animals. They may have certain asymmetry in their viscera and in many other structures, and that is because mainly of their tubular. They had to arrange everything within that small tubular space restriction. So for that, they are asymmetry from that angle. But to begin with, they were all symmetrical animals, bilaterally symmetrical animals. And as you know, in bilaterally symmetrical animals, most of them, large majority of the bilaterally symmetrical animals are actually right-handed. Okay, and this is my personal experience that snakes try to keep you on their left side while striking. I've got a big data on that. Large data on that. Approximately 700 bites, 700 strikes data I have. I'm planning to do it much more than that. So, to establish it. So they are right-handed, and the right-handed ones, we have experience of playing badminton. Now, during badminton, playing badminton, you deal with the shuttlecock from right side. You strike it from the right side, targeting the left side. Okay, that is naturally, man. That is our natural strike tendency. Okay, so that's because of our being right-handed bias. So as they are also bilaterally symmetrical animals, they are also expected to be right-handed. We have to establish that by statistics. So they are always trying to keep you. The snakes always try to keep you on their left side. It is wise to keep yourself on their right side, because right-handed snakes will not be able to. They are not expected to strike you. Perfectly on their right side. Okay, so it is safer, relatively safer. Okay, that is just a caution. Now, when I will catch it, you'll see that I have caught it from the right side, from its right side. Sorry. This is a big snake, actually a big snake. Not a very small snake, but it is a sub-adult. From python's family, this is small. Now, what I was looking at is, I mean, these are wild snakes, and if they're caught, yeah, I mean, if they're placed in these closed environments, generally they do develop canker. So this is a bacterial infection, and sometimes it can be fatal because they are deprived of getting basked inside. I mean, under the sun, and they develop different bacterial infections for that. So I was just taking that, and while handling, it was so nervous that it simply defecated. Now, defecation is not that is the defecated portion. Now, I mean, defecation has got two purposes. One is out of nervousness they can defecate, and this I mean, they when they defecate, uh, it is having a very foul smell, and it is a watery defecation. Uh, so this is repulsive for any animal, not only for human beings. This is repulsive for any animal. So maybe it is their strategy. This is the whole range distribution of Pythonidae, and Bolaridae is of course there, a very small distribution. Now superfamily Boidea. Now under it we have got Boidae, and under Boidae we are having so many subfamilies that we are not in a position to. I mean, it is not permitted under these limitations. So just I mean, have a glimpse on these subfamilies. 7 subfamilies are there. Okay. So we will treat all of them as boids. Now in India, we are having boids, but not like the American giant one. You know, the boids that we have in India, they are of smaller version or smaller size, and this is one red sand boa. There are other also. There are other. I mean, I've just given you just two species. Now this is red sand boa, and this is common sand boa. These two species are very common in West Bengal also. Okay. Now, and this of these two species, this is a biter. This will, I mean, if you try to handle it, I mean, the wild caught one, it will readily bite you. But this is, I mean, it is not that eager to bite you. That much I can say. But I'm not saying that it won't bite you. But it has got higher chance of biting you than it. And its last part of its body, I mean, the red sand boa, the last part of its body, I mean, the tail region, it mimics its head. So falsely, they are sometimes believed to be having two mouths, but this is not true. It is the tail region that mimics the head region. Now this is common boa constrictor. And there are different varieties. There are so many different color mobs of this species. Chocolatey color is there, bicolor is there. Now, this is green anaconda. You are very acquainted with this particular snake. And there's a movie called Anaconda. Anaconda 2 or 3 may be there in the line. Now, this green anaconda is having an aquatic habitat or aquatic niche, you may say. And this is having, I mean, they are pretty good in terrestrial, moving here and there terrestrially, or they can cling on to any branches. I mean, they are pretty scansorial too. I mean, in terms of adaptation. Now, the boas and pythons both are having, I mean, this is not a very well-known fact. That's why I've given it here. Boas and pythons, they are both having their heat-sensitive pit. It is not the vipers, I mean, pit vipers that are having the heat-sensitive pit. Boas also have heat-sensitive pit. The pythons also have heat-sensitive. This is the heat-sensitive. These are the heat-sensitive pits of pythons, and these are the heat-sensitive pits of boas. Different boas. I'm not all the boas. The boas that we have, that means these two, they are not having those pits. Okay. but these boas are having pits. Both these pythons and the boa, and green, both of them are green. Green tree python, and this is emerald tree boa. Though it is called emerald tree boa, it is green color. Now, how to differentiate? I mean, if you are given two species, one boa species, one green boa species, one say emerald tree boa and one green tree python. How do you decide which one is python and which one is boa? Now, in case of emerald tree boa, the white spots will be much more prominent and in bands, in almost half bands. In case of boa, in case of green boa or emerald tree boa, and in case of green tree python, these spots are very small, tiny spots of tiny white spots you can find there. Now, again, the heat sensitive pits, the supralabial ones, it will never reach their eye. The heat sensitive pits will never reach their eyes. But in case of emerald tree boa, the heat sensitive pits on their upper jaw, that means the supralabial pits, they will cross their eye. This is the heat sensitive pits of they are supralabial heat sensitive pits. These are also supralabial heat sensitive pits. But in case of boa, the heat sensitive pit will stretch beyond the eye line. Okay, but in case of pythons, it will never reach the eye line. This is the supralabial pit. These are the infralabial pits. These are the supralabial pits. 1, 2, 3, 4 max. It will never reach here. But in case of emerald tree boa, so many pits, and it will obviously, of course. The boas that are having the pits, they will cross their eye line. And again, there is another thing to notice. This part and this part. In case of boas, there are no pre-maxillary teeth. This is maxilla. There is maxillary teeth. You can see here. This is maxillary teeth. There is another maxilla here, the right side maxilla. There is no pre-maxillary teeth here. But in case of pythons, you will find pre-maxillary teeth just under this line. So pythons will be having pre-maxillary teeth. And they will be, those pythons that are having these pits, the pits will never touch the eye line. They will have premaxillary teeth. The boas will never have premaxillary teeth. And if they have got the heat sensitive pits, they will cross the eye line. This is the distribution. Greedy. That means you can see different families. Not all the families are found everywhere. Okay, say in these regions, in India and these regions, you can find ericines. Okay, but the anacondas, the big boas, you cannot find here. Okay, you cannot find boas in Australia, as you cannot find pythons in Americas. In Americas, you cannot find python in Americas. You can find pythons here in Australia, but in Americas, you cannot find pythons. You can find boa. Now, what is the home lesson then? Pythons are not found in Americas, boas, as I just said. The pythons are not found in Americas and boas are not found in Australia. Pythons are obligatorily oviparous, boas are viviparous, leaving a few exceptions. The ericines, the two species, the two species that I presented here, the red sand boa and eryx, both the eryx species, they are egg layers. Okay. So these are exceptions. Boas, if they are oviparous, that is an exception. By rule, boas should be viviparous. Now, viviparous means birth. They give birth to their young ones. Now, pythons have premaxillary teeth, just as I discussed. Boas lack premaxillary teeth. In both, sorry, in both pythons and boas, tracheal lungs are absent. Tracheal lungs means this is not. Uh, this is an extended part of their lungs, which is present in many snakes, but it is absent in the most basal group of snakes and these pythons and boas. Okay, now this will be all for today. Now you can ask questions. Sorry, if you have any question, you can ask.
The participants can write their question either in the chat box or
You can directly ask me.
directly ask to the speaker also.
There is any question in the chat box?
I have not found any question in the chat box. Waiting for something. অপেক্ষা করা যাক. Within this time, let me ask one question to you. It is from my eagerness. Regarding
I'm sure by now you have understood the difference between the Indian rock python and the Burmese python, the difference between boa and python. These two are very important for your exam purpose also. You must learn to differentiate in between pythons and boas, and how to differentiate in between Indian rock python and Burmese python. Okay, if there is no question, absolutely no problem. The slides will be shared, and you can, if you get some question, if you want to ask me later on, you can also ask. No problem.
No question is
let them go through the slides first, because this is a big one, and taxonomy is to some extent boring also, because you have to remember so many names of the categories. So let them study, and if you have any question, you can ask in the group also or next day also. No problem. There's no hurry. ঠিক আছে, তাহলে আমার মনে হয় কোয়েশ্চেন নেই কোনো, বুঝতে পারলি?
আমি তাই দেখতে পাচ্ছি, আমি চ্যাট বক্সে।
তাহলে আমার মনে হয় রেখে দেওয়া উচিত।
ওকে, তাহলে আর 5 মিনিট দেখি। Anybody has question, he or she can directly ask to the speaker also without hesitation.
In Bengali, English, whatever you like, you can ask question. No problem. না, ঠিক আছে, question নেই. Let us call it a day.
Okay, so today we shall end the session and we shall meet in the next Saturday. So, thank you all. Thank you, our respected.
Thank you, Rahul. Thank you, Amitavo, and thank you all the participants.
Okay.